We'll start the engine and set it back down. Then they'll be kind of facing towards you and allow you access to that bed knife so you can see what you're doing when you're back. When we go to backlap, what we're going to do is we're going to pull out this yellow knob. The yellow knob will allow us to rotate our reels in reverse. Once you put the lapping compound on, you never want the reels to turn forward. Then it will dull it, which is going to change what we had talked about earlier. The other thing you want to make sure is that this knob, this black knob, is on 1. And you see the yellow knob here. We're going to rotate this until it's on 1. You never want to turn it all the way off. If you turn it all off, it can damage the hydraulic system. So we're going to rotate to 1, we're going to slow it down, and then we're going to pull the knob out, which is going to hydraulically turn the reels in reverse and turn them on. The other thing that we want to do is we're backlapping. You don't want to turn the reels too fast. If you turn them too fast in reverse, it will throw the lapping compound off. We don't want to do that. We want to turn fast enough to get the job done without throwing the compound off. The other nice feature about a John Deere is that their hydraulic system has a compensator. As we put lapping compound, the resistance will increase and the reels will naturally want to slow down. Because we don't want them to slow down, the hydraulics will compensate and speed the reels up. If you get tied up adjusting the back or something and the front starts to get easier to turn, instead of speeding up and throwing the compound off, the hydraulics will just slow them down and maintain a constant speed. Later you're going to see a demonstration with the Jacobsen. The Jacobsen, you're constantly playing with the hydraulics to maintain a constant speed. When you put the lapping compound on, they want to stop. You got to open it up. As the compound wears, you got to slow it back down. So you're constantly playing with it. These are automatic. They're self-compensating and maintain a constant speed. So we're going to start it up. We're going to turn the reels in reverse, and I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate the backlapping just on one reel. And you'll listen to it, you'll hear it as I put the compound on, you'll hear the noise that it makes. That tells me that it's grinding. And so for our backlapping, we're going to use a brush. You notice the brush has a piece of rubber in the middle and a handle. What you don't want to do is get your hands near cutting in it. And so we're going to put a rubber because it's flexible, and the handle allows us to stay away from the cutting end. This is just a paintbrush from a hardware store, a piece of heater hose, and then some sort of a pipe or a stick or something that's attached to it, so that we can put it on without getting our hands involved in that reel. If you're doing a reel that hasn't been lapped for a long time, it's really dull, you would want to use a very coarse lapping compound. This here is a 50 grit compound. This is for cutting units like fairway mowers that are very, very dull. 50 grit is very abrasive. It's like putting sand on it, and it will cause it to actually wear or grind really quickly. So normally you would do this on a worn reel for about 10 to 15 minutes. You need to wash all the compound off, and then you would switch over to 120 grit to kind of finish the job out. Since we've already backlapped it, this one's pretty good shape. We're going to skip the 50 grit. We're going to go right to the 120. Just demonstrate the 120. This is what the backlapping compound looks like in a bucket. And so we're going to take our brush and we're going to dip it in there and get our brush on there and then apply this to the reel.